Counting backwards from 5, 4, 3, 2. All right. If it's Tuesday, it could mean only one thing, and it means that we're here together to make. Hold on. If it's Tuesday, it can mean only one thing. I'm doing this for how many years now?
That was terrible. If it's Tuesday,
I got to tell you, you'd think like I tried reading a script. I tried everything. Nothing worked. Here we go.
I think the script was probably the best way to go.
Hi, my name is Buddy Scalera.
Maybe you should have AI write you a script and see what it comes up with.
Call it Artificial Buddy. So, Mike, you know what tonight is? Tonight is Comic Book School Live, where we talk about the craft and business of making comics and all the things that are important to you as a comic book creator. Except tonight, we're taking a little break from that. We're going to be talking about all the exciting news that came out of San Diego Comicon, where neither of us attended. So we just read the news, and we'll read that back to you. So if you already know the news, it's fine to tune out. This will just be us riffing. But if you're new to the show, I'm Buddy Scalera. What are you looking at? Is there somebody behind you?
Yeah. I was looking at the thing behind me, the little 25-cent thing you said.
25-cent towel that you got at a garage sale. So tonight it's you, multi-award winning and dog owning television screenwriter and comic book writer, and me, Buddy Scalera, your comic book school host. But we have a special guest tonight, and our special guest is a good friend of the show, a good friend of ours. Please welcome Darren Sanchez. Darren, welcome to the show.
Yay. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. You know, Darren, we're really happy to have you here because you know a thing or two about the Hollywood thing. You've been intermeshed with it. And also, Mike, as everybody knows, Darren was working with us at Wizard Magazine. He worked at Valiant. And then eventually he sort of moseyed on over to Marvel Comics, where he gave me a whole lot of great paying work. So I'll always love him for that. And now he's working for a small company called After Hours Press. Darren, that's a heck of a shirt. That's a great advertisement.
Thank you. Yeah, I got these made. I got the cups made too.
I didn't get anything.
Well, I just got them made, but I've only sent one out. That was to Dan DiDio, and he got it. So he got it. But
Dan DiDio got one. I live like a mile from your house.
Well, the idea is that I wanted to use them as incentive to send to all the guests on the show, the After Hours show that I'm doing on Comics After Hours at YouTube at Comics After Hours. So I've got about 5 or 6 of them posted now, and there'll be more coming up this week. But the guests that I'm having on, I want to be able to send them a gift after, and and you guys will get one. It's just I got to get my act together.
Mike, we don't have shirts or anything, do we?
We should have shirts that we send out, or hats. Hats are always good.
Yeah, I think we would. That would be good.
The thing about mugs is that people just keep them. And you don't have to worry about what size somebody is, and so
that's true.
So that's because if you're going to order a bunch,
this is your channel, right, Darren? You've started a YouTube channel.
Oh yes, that's it. It started off when I got asked to bring a creative team to a convention in Morocco, and buddy, you went to the first one, but there was another one after that. So we've done two. After Hours has done two of these, and one of the things we do while we're there is a live audience, a podcast in front of a live audience, and we have like a comic book celebrity from the States or from anywhere in the world. Actually, we'll call in and we'll interview them about different things in front of the audience, and the audience will get to ask them questions, and it's a lot of fun. Everybody really enjoys it. And when I go, I'm supposed to bring a team of creators, but usually I get half the guys say they can't make it for whatever reasons, because it's a pretty big commitment to go to Morocco for a week, you know. So the ones who can't make it, I try to schedule them for the podcast. That way they can at least, experience it and share some stories with the crowd.
So people should subscribe to your channel. They can find you on the YouTubes. They can look for it right now. Hold on. I'll put it right here in the chat so that they can find it.
Appreciate that.
I can do that. Hold on. I had, Lauret size large coffee.
There you go.
Besides.
Mike, we're falling behind a little bit in the comments. I think people are here. People are actually here. Annette's here. Redheaded Ed is here.
I can.
Yeah, hey, no pressure to be funny, guys. You guys,
That's all right. We can't be funny on cue. Mike can only be funny when he's getting paid.
It needs to be getting paid and scripted.
Yeah, we had one of Mike's Mike, your boss, I guess, Seth Green was on for all intents and purposes. Are you fired?
Not yet. Like I said, I'm good for morale. That's why they keep me around.
For morale. So I think that was a fun show. If people haven't seen it, definitely check it out. But tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about what happened. No, not that.
Thanks for the second plug there, Mike.
Yeah, no problem. I'm going to add to stage. All right. So San Diego Comicon, the first, what we would say, giant convention. It is still like one of the biggest in the world, at least one of the biggest in the country. New York and San Diego are still the place where people go to make their huge announcements. There were lots of announcements this year, and we want to bring it to you and maybe offer some context and commentary for those of you who are aspiring writers and artists. How does that sound, guys?
Sounds like good stuff.
Right. Good. All right. So here we go. So first one up, good friends of the show, Mad Cave Comics, partnered with another good friend of the show, Joe Casada, where he will be launching his line of creator-owned comic books called Amazing Comics. He made some announcements. What was interesting about it was he also partnered with, I don't even want to ruin the name, Media Participations. I think that's based in France, and they will have international distribution. What I found particularly interesting about this was, Joe had been teasing this. He has moved to Idaho. He was, teasing potatoes and whatnot. He maintains a very successful and interesting newsletter where he was able to drop the newsletter at the same time that he made the announcement. And from my perspective, and then I'll hand it over to you guys, I think this is really exciting because Joe will be releasing a complete line of comic books. Hence, he will be looking for all kinds of talent. Darren went on full spin there. Not sure what's happening. I think he's going into a black hole or time warp. Mike, what's your take on this initial announcement?
Well, I'm a big fan of the creator-owned comics because then they're allowed to do what they want to do and what they really enjoy and what they think the fans will enjoy instead of having to fall under that corporate thing of, oh, you have to do this or we have to do that. These guys can just, put it out what they want and have fun at it.
And what I also think is very interesting is, Casada was early into this with Jimmy Palmiotti. They had published their own, let me see, we'll re-add Darren. Not sure what happened there, Darren, but welcome back. Good night, everybody. It was a great show.
He was over trying to get those new coffee mug sizes.
That's true. So, Darren, we were just talking about this. Mike, you were talking about the creator-owned comics, and then I picked up and was mentioning, Darren, that this isn't Joe's first time at this. In fact, Early on, they released Event Comics, which published Ash. They had some sort of publishing deal, and then that eventually led to Marvel Knights. A lot of people don't realize that Marvel Knights operated as a separate office and on a separate floor at Marvel Comics. And of course, many of those Marvel Knights comics became the basis for the TV shows and the movies. And Darren, we were just getting initial reactions. And I will also note before you went off that this could mean opportunities for creators, letterers, colorists, pencilers who are looking for a new publisher. So Mike had commented, what, Mike? I wasn't listening when you were talking.
Yeah, you never do. Basically, that I'm a big fan of the creator-owned, because then they do what they want to do. They don't fall under the corporate roof of, oh, we have to do this or we have to do that. It's all just good stories told from good writers and good creators.
It's usually like a passion project. I mean, why would somebody create and start something brand new that they're really not that into, you know? So this has to be something that Joe's been wanting to tell for a while, and Joe's a talented guy. I'm sure it'll be a beautiful book, and look forward to checking it out.
Well, what's also interesting is now I think it said Mad Cave Studios. You know, we've had many Mad Cave Studios editors and creators on. Mike Martz is a close friend. I know that he'll be on your show, Darren, pretty soon. And what's exciting about that is they continue to expand in interesting directions. They had recently announced they were going to be doing a shared universe. This is like a great time to be an indie creator. So it is a particularly good time as New York Comicon rolled around to get your portfolio in shape to showcase what you can do.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. For me, this is more of a fan thing. I mean, for pros, these companies are at the top of their game. So, I mean, if you're a pro who's wanting to do something for Mad Cave, you know, that's one thing. Sometimes these guys like Joe will bring in extra colorists, and it could be opportunities for letterers and that sort of thing. But for me personally, I found that if you want to publish something, if you want to get work in comics, the best way is just to do it and to figure out how to publish your own stuff first. And it's so much easier to show your work if it's already published. And if you're competent enough to put out your own book and it doesn't look like an amateur comic, that's an impressive enough portfolio for a lot of people. And Buddy, I know, you know, you and I have taken that route, and we got tired of asking for permission. So you just find a story you want to tell and put your own team together and put it together. To me, that's the best way to break in. And if you do it right, if you do it well, somebody will notice.
I agree. I will counter that though, Darren. I don't see Mad Cave focusing only on big name creators, and I see them exploring lesser known or unknown talent. So, you know, I see a lot of those press releases. I think Mad Cave is one of those companies that at New York Comicon is very receptive to new creators. They will talk with you about your pitch right then and there, and then have you send it in. You're right. Joe has a great network. Depending on the deal, Joe may or probably will manage the finances. It may be an opportunity for you, if you're a letterer or a colorist, to show your work and maybe get a break on a backup story or something. Yeah, well, it does sound easy, Redheaded Ed. It does sound easy, but you know, you got to do the work, right, Mike? That's 2024. You got to do the things.
Got to do the things.
Mike, did we lose you? Is your audio still on?
I heard him.
No, we lost Mike's audio.
No, we lost your audio.
Mike, Darren, you can still talk, right?
This happened to
Mike, we don't hear you.
I can hear Mike too. He's insulting you like crazy, but that's okay. Just keep going, Mike.
Me?
Yeah.
Again?
Yeah, it's you, buddy. Because this happened to Buddy last week. We were in the middle of the conversation. Suddenly, he just like, hey, you guys aren't answering me.
Buddy's watching TV. That's the problem.
I just private messaged him.
Buddy, I hear you. You're just not hearing Mike.
Back.
Let's see. I can control some of his slides. What else do we got here for Buddy? Can I bring it up? There's Joe Casada on YouTube.
Joe Illage.
Oh, yes.
Another Joe making news in San Diego.
Oh, there he goes. He took his thing with him. Now I can't show him.
That's all right. We can still talk about Joe Illage. Yeah, Joe's getting a lot of opportunity now. Is Buddy coming back?
He'll eventually be back. But yeah, Joe Illage is doing the new Spawn series, or at least a few issues in it. New miniseries.
Yeah. So he's hustling. He's always been a hustler, getting a lot of projects going, and he certainly knows enough people to keep getting more opportunities and taking advantage of them. So he's a good writer, a good guy, and I wish him the best. I look forward to checking that out too.
Yeah, it's always shocking to me how long Spawn has been going on.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but if you for an indie, it's been going on forever, but it's almost been uninterrupted too. So you see things like Savage Dragon, Young Blood when that came out. People still know who those are, but Spawn just never went away. I mean, it reached its peak with a movie and an HBO series, but I think they're coming out with something else on some platform, some streaming platform. I'm not even sure which one.
Oh, are they? Gee, that would be very interesting. I'd check out that because I haven't seen, picked up any Spawn comic in decades, but I always remember it being pretty fun.
Yeah. We're lucky enough to be like in the business. So while we were at Wizard, we would get free copies of everything pretty much, and same thing at Valiant, same thing at Marvel. So, I may have a comic collection of over 10,000 books and probably, 7,000 or 8,000 of them were handed to me free. So I can't really complain, but it's Spawn was one of the ones I enjoyed reading, so I want to see where it's going. I'm curious what Joe's going to bring to the table with it, because he's not a writer I would have pictured for Spawn. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. And that's no knock on Joe. It's just I didn't even know he was involved with the Image guys at all. So that's just kind of out of left field, it seems. But maybe not. If you look into it, you'll see. This is his buddy, or that's this particular story has a character that he's written before. I don't know. We'll have to check it out.
Yep, going to be interesting. Hey, Buddy's back.
Yeah, I think that's a feature that just cuts me out every once in a while. That's 2 weeks in a row, Mike. We might have to rethink this.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing.
I don't either. Did Buddy trip all? And the shirt.
Are we going to take turns dropping out? Mike, are you going next?
Mike's next.
Yep. Oh, I missed all these comments. I had my thing set on private chat, and I missed all of these.
Pizza run. Is that a fat joke? I think it's.
I've been seeing them.
All right. So where do we leave off? Oh, so if you want to check out Joe Casada, we have a wonderful interview that we did at New York Comicon a couple of years ago. Which is on the YouTube channel on Comic Book School Live. And it's just me and Joe. Long interview, full hour at New York Comic-Con. So for those of you who did not get to see it, it's a good opportunity. Did you guys talk a little bit about what Joe Illage is doing?
Yes, we did.
You did? Well, you can also find a little bit more about
we were talking about the Spawn mostly. We didn't get into Shadow Cabinet.
So apparently he's doing some work with McFarlane's Spawn universe. Spawn universe, we did an episode where Spawn is everywhere. And McFarlane is just literally announcement after announcement. So good on our friend Joe for getting in there. And I don't know exactly what he's writing, Shadow Cabinet. There wasn't a lot of information out there, but we are very, very happy for Joe. He's a good friend of the show.
Looks like it's going to be fun. They got some great artwork.
Yeah, so we probably should have him and Erica Schultz on the show because they're new writers to it. And of course, if you want to check out Joe, he did the Remembering MD Bright episode, and he gave us a little tour of MD's contributions to comics, and then we did a 1.5 hour episode where he went through the complete issue of Heavy Metal, where he was executive editor and went through exactly what choices they make as a magazine publisher publishing an anthology. So fascinating stuff if you want to know about how comic books are made and how heavy metal is made. A lot of great detail there. And what was the question?
Oh, you clicked it on. I clicked it off.
McFarlane has like $4 a month coming out now. Is that right?
McFarlane has $4 a month coming out.
Wow. That's impressive.
How many of them are Spawn? Probably
no. They're all Spawn. They're all Spawn Universe. All of them.
Well, Spawn Universe, but Spawn Comics. There's like Hack Slash or something like that.
No. They're tied into the Spawn universe. This is all like what was it, Gunslinger Spawn and a couple of other things. I think they're all tied into this larger shared universe that he's creating, and I think that Joe is just one of the guys that's writing one of the books.
Spawn or Spawn adjacent.
Spawn adjacent. So,
but this
anyway.
The Shadow Cabinet thing is something different.
Yeah, maybe I picked up the wrong thing. I was having a hard time getting the slides together because I only prepped for the show about 8 minutes in advance. So that's how we roll, boys and girls. But yeah, congratulations for Joe. Sorry, Joe, if I ran the wrong image, but we will have you on the show to unpack what you're doing for Milestone. And he also has a Kickstarter going. So I feel like we need to get Joe back on the show. Hackslash hasn't done. Oh, Gatilla. Look at that. Hasn't done anything with Spawn yet.
Gatilla knows stuff.
Now put that back up there, Mike. You got to put the yet. He hasn't done anything yet. All right, so we're going to move along because I just keep flashing this last 2 slides. Okay, so Mike Fasolo, our new Hollywood reporter.
Oh, I should have had a microphone. Oh, I should have put a fake backdrop on me with the Hollywood sign.
Mike, I got to tell you, look at this graphic I made, huh?
I know, that's good.
It's got poor redheaded Ed clutching her chest like, oh, worst graphics ever.
You should have somehow matched the Hollywood lettering, whatever that font is.
I should have. I could have even asked Darren. Darren actually knows graphic design. She's like, oh no, you're killing me, Smalls. All right, so Mike, a lot of Hollywood news. San Diego's typically the place where you get a lot of Hollywood news. So I'm going to set up some slides, and you're going to, Mike, in a helicopter in a robe.
Yes, oh, that would be a great report.
Actually, I feel like somebody could help us out with a graphic of Mike in a helicopter in a robe for the Hollywood Reporter graphic. That's a good use of our community. So if anybody feels like submitting something, give us some help. So Mike, what's going on here? Looks like a lot of, at least the guy on the right's happy. The other guy looks like he's like.
Well, there's 2 big announcements for this one. Obviously the biggest one was Robert Downey Jr. coming back to the MCU, not as Iron Man, but as Dr. Doom, which caused a huge stir amongst a bunch of fans and people who are.
A good stir or a bad stir, Mike?
It's a good stir, but a bad stir. Everybody's happy that he's coming back because he's a great character, a great actor. But a bad stir because now they're saying that his spoiler alert, death in Avengers Endgame means nothing because he's coming back. But the problem is he's not coming back as Tony Stark. He's coming back as a brand new character. So it shouldn't matter that it's Robert Downey Jr. coming back. It's a brand new character, which I think is going to be great.
Do you think, though, that he is Tony Stark coming back as Dr. Doom?
Well, I have a theory. You want to hear it?
I do.
My theory is that it's an alternate version of Tony Stark who, when he was in the cave from the first Iron Man movie, if you watch it again, the mask that he makes for the first Iron Man suit looks an awful lot like the Doctor Doom mask. So my theory is that he was rushing to get stuff done. He dipped it in the hot stuff. He didn't cool it off in time, put it on his face, scalded him, sent him a little crazy. And now he's not Tony Stark anymore in his own brain. He's Dr. Doom, who's out to take over the world because he was kidnapped and hurt and tortured. And now he's out for revenge.
Oh, wow.
That's my long drawn out theory of how they're going to do it. Now it could be completely wrong. And they could just be like, oh, no, he's just Dr. Doom. He just happens to look like Tony Stark.
Well, let's face it. I mean, Chris Evans, easy to remember him as Captain America, easy to forget that he was the Human Torch in 2 other Marvel movies, which, and you know, they played that up in WandaVision, where different actors came in to play Pietro and other characters, right? So they did have this weird thing. The whole Wanda-verse could twist things around. Darren, what are your thoughts as Robert Downey Jr.?
Personally, I like Robert Downey Jr. I mean, maybe my favorite role was in Tropic Thunder, but that's, you know, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. I think, you know, Mike, you know, as a writer, you could really go any way you want with it. He's either a variant of Tony Stark. He's a completely different person, just played by the same actor, which is what you were just saying. But I think either way they'll make it make sense. It's just they may end up destroying the whole Victor Von Doom character if they change it too much, you know, and that's. Even if it's good, people aren't going to be happy about that. People have always wanted to see Dr. Doom. You don't want to pull another Mandarin and have like a fake Dr. Doom, you know, that would suck. So hopefully they do it right. And it wasn't just a desperation move that you know, Robert Downey just didn't want to come back unless he could play a different character. And so they made this up and, you know, and they're running with it, you know, but you know, I don't know. Like I said, I think it depends on which way they want to go as writers. I hope they make the right choice. Probably as a variant would be the best way to go, I would think. Maybe this variant grew up outside of the way Tony grew up, and he was adopted and he grew up as Victor Von Doom. You know, that could be as simple as that.
Yep. Well, you know, John Byrne, I think, had once said, I can undo old continuity in less than 2 pages. So if something's not working, you know, and listen, I didn't see all of the the second wave of the Marvel movies, but it just feels like they needed to breathe some fresh life into it. And what I observed was a lot of big name actors, some of the big directors that made the first wave so successful were back. And you see that and you feel encouraged by saying, okay, something was right in the first mix. You know, there's a couple of ups and downs, but it ended strong with the second Avengers movie. Then that second wave didn't quite find its groove, and it's good that whoever's running the show, how do you pronounce his name, Darren? Feige?
Kevin Feige.
Feige. He's bringing back what works, and Downey is an actor. You know, he's not actually Iron Man, nor is he actually Dr. Doom. So he has the ability to morph, and with a few minutes of dialogue, they're like, "Oh yeah, it's multiverse. Go with it."
Yeah, and it's also, I mean, I think people are worried that he's going to be, say, fighting the Avengers, and then they're going to have the Tony Stark Iron Man as well. So it's going to throw everything off, which he, you know, as far as the MCU is concerned, Tony Stark is dead. So you don't think you have to worry about him being, you know, suddenly going, oh, he looks just like Tony Stark in Iron Man.
Because no dead Marvel character ever came back to life.
No. And they also got the Russo brothers back to, I believe, helm this one.
Right.
So
helm this one. So
this
was burning up the internet.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of times when you see what I would call like fan rage, it's because they don't know what's going to happen. And of course, you know, they were outraged when Downey was first introduced to begin with, and they were outraged when, you know, different characters were going to play, you know, different actors were going to play different characters, and then all of a sudden you can't picture any other actor in the role.
Yeah.
You know, it happens all the time. Even going way back, and we're old, so we can go way back. But when it was announced that Michael Keaton was going to be Batman, everyone thought that was the stupidest thing in the world.
Mom. How can he be Batman?
Exactly, and that has happened every time a new Batman was cast, every time a new Superman was cast. And I know that's the DC universe, but you know, Marvel is the same way, but it's just Marvel has only been making movies, you know, for like 15 years or so. And so you haven't had to replace as many people as, you know, a franchise that started making movies in the 70s or Batman since, you know, TV episodic videos in like the 40s, I think. And then they came out with the Batman in the 60s and, you know, it's just, it's the nature of the beast. And the same thing with James Bond. As long as you get somebody who is the right like archetype, I think physically, and a good actor, I think give him a chance.
Is it your time, Mike, to announce your role as James Bond then? No, not yet.
You can't say that yet.
All right, so let's go on to the next thing. We're talking Fantastic Four. Oh, it happens to every character. Yep. It's true. No, it's true. Fan rage is a thing, and I think I think
for this, I think the concern is what are they going to be doing to the continuity of Victor Von Doom, or is that going to be Tony Stark? And I think that's what people are wondering. I don't know if anybody's pissed off. I think they're just wondering what are they going to do, you know? So,
but I'm glad, right? They did something that created a buzz, right? They got a buzz going. But what's interesting is hold that thought of Robert Downey Jr. Mike, what are we seeing here?
Well, we got the Fantastic Four, which again had a few people up in arms over the choices for their characters. This is going to be, from what I understand, basically an origin story of the Fantastic Four again. But I think the casting in this is great.
Number one, is that mug in Herbie's hand? Is that an after hours mug, Darren?
It
absolutely is. In fact, Herbie's wearing a big after hours.
All right, real quick. What I note on the wall in the top left corner is an astronaut photo, and I was thinking, well, if that's the Fantastic Four, is that Dr. Doom in the corner?
Could be.
And it does not look like Robert Downey Jr. at all.
Well, it could be a pre-Dr. Doom.
It's probably Ben Grimm, since they didn't have the actor's face on there. They figured they'd do it in a painting. But
that's true. Hold on. What is it? Read this out, Mike.
The principle of casting different actors doesn't change. Seems like we're a long way from where actors are terrified of typecasting.
Yeah, tell that to Joffrey from Game of Thrones. I think typecasting is still a problem. If
typecasting is a problem, you know. I mean, what was the other movie that featured Adam West and the other movie that featured Christopher Reeve? You can't. It's hard to name them, right? At that time there was a stigma attached to that. So
yeah.
So the typecasting, but okay. So Catilla agrees. Nah, that is Ben Grimm before Cosmic Rays X. Hold on, just go back to that spelling there, Mike. Nah. That is Cosmic Rays.
That's how the kids are spelling it these days.
That's right. That's not a Gen Xer.
When Ben Grimm had Riz. Can we use the word Riz? Are we allowed to use the word Riz?
We can use it, but yeah, we shouldn't.
It's like wearing white pants after Labor Day. It's just one of those unwritten rules.
Well, Darren, you're on. I listen to you because you're on fleek.
On fleek, yes.
You're on fleek.
But yeah. So the Fantastic Four movie is taking place in the '60s, which will be interesting. It's a great. It's
You know,
a brand new
I had a discussion with a couple of the editors, Mark Basso, Catherine Brown, when we used to just sit around and talk about the different movies, and I made a point of with Fantastic Four that I didn't think they could really do a good Fantastic Four movie, at least a better one than what they did with Michael B. Jordan when he was Human Torch, and with that one, unless they went back and did it like in the '60s, like Mad Men kind of, and because that's when it came out, and that's the real vibe behind it, and so I think this is a pretty good idea, and I'm surprised that they went with it. It reminds me a little bit of the WandaVision when they did. Like the Dick Van Dyke Show and the Bewitched kind of versions of WandaVision. But I hope that it's as good as it should be. Fantastic Four deserves to have a good movie because they are one of the flagships of Marvel. So hopefully they knock it out of the park.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Should be fun.
Yeah, so and Pedro Pascal can do no wrong. I mean, literally, he's good in everything. And I just want to profess that if Vanessa Kirby is listening to this, you're welcome to join on the show. She was great in Hobbs versus Shaw, and she was not. She even said in one of the trailer, the DVD specials, that she didn't consider herself an action star. That was her first action movie, and now I'm like, yeah, you go, Vanessa Kirby.
You should call him up and slide into the DMs and see if you can get him on the show.
Yeah, I think what could possibly go wrong with that plan of me reaching out to Pedro Pascal? And
I don't think anything can go wrong. Just imagine you get him on the show. You'd be like, that was the best thing I ever did.
You know what's weird, Mike? They will probably or have already probably shown up on Robot Chicken. So you've probably already encountered. Did either of them ever show up on Robot Chicken?
I believe Pedro has done a voice. I mean, I wasn't there when he did it. I think maybe, but I'm sure somebody that I know knows him. I'll have to reach out to my contacts.
Yeah, and let's just face it. I'm more on the Vanessa Kirby side, where I'd be happy to have Vanessa Kirby come on, little heartthrob for me.
Yeah, well, see what you can do, bud.
She speaks to my inner 12-year-old boy. That would need to be done more than 8 minutes before the show.
Well, we could try for 10 for that one. 10 minutes. Yeah.
That's why Redheaded Ed was always exasperated. She thought we're going to do things the right way in advance with planning. There's times Redheaded Ed where Mike and I are literally sharing links in real time that I'll pull up on a screen. So that's how organized we are. So, Mike,
it's like high school all over again, buddy. When you walk into the room and you sit down and say, "Can I see your homework?" And then you start.
What'd you get for number 4?
What'd you get for last name? All right. So, see, Burnett gives us the out. Or something. That's why I like Burnett. Burnett gives us a little bit of gives us a pass. Redheaded Ed wanted things done right. I'm like, we got to do things right now. You guys are sharing one brain cell.
I don't even know if it's one complete brain cell.
Well, once Darren's here, it's a whole brain cell. Okay,
now it's one whole brain cell.
All right, Mike, keep going on the Hollywood Reporter.
We got the Thunderbolts, which I am looking forward to.
I am not looking forward to this.
I honestly, to my honest opinion, I don't think it will be great, but there are some characters in here that I think will be hilarious. The Bucky, of course, is great. The girl who's the new Black Widow, like her, and I can't remember the Russian guy's name. But he's funny. He was great in the Black Widow movie.
Right.
Yeah.
I just think of him as Hopper.
Yeah. So I will definitely watch this. My expectations are low, so I think that's always kind of good going into a movie, and I hope it surprises me. But I am looking forward to it.
I'm gonna hate watch this.
You're gonna hate watch it, but then love it.
I saw this and I was like, all right. So number one, the first run of Thunderbolts, Fabian wrote it. The twist was mind blowing. You didn't see it coming. But I just feel David Harbour.
Right.
That's his name.
Just feel like I don't want a Thunderbolts movie. And
what's the character's name? It's
the red tornado,
red something, yeah,
red something. But
Red
I don't want a
is,
Thunderbolts movie.
Yeah, but see, I mean, do you not want a Thunderbolts movie because these aren't our Thunderbolts?
Red Guardian. There you go.
Like these aren't the Thunderbolts that we knew.
I don't think anybody.
I see a movie where I see this many characters, and I think, okay, ensemble movie. Everybody has to have a little bit of screen time. Everybody needs their little character moment. Everybody needs their little quip or whatever. And okay, you're working with, what is it, about 4 or 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 characters that people know already. Red Guardian, Black Widow, Bucky, and the
US agent. Yeah.
US agent.
US agent. You know, that's Kurt Russell's son.
Is it really?
Did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. So
Thunderbolt. Yeah, look at what Burnett says. Thunderbolts worked because of the twist at the end of issue 1, right?
Yes, very
exactly. True. And then it worked because Fabian had a good plan for. I would say the first year was great, but then it becomes hard to stretch over time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like he said, it was a great twist at the end of the issue. It was one of those things that I think they should have drawn that out a lot more instead of revealing the whole twist so early on.
I thought he was he the Patriot or U.S. agent? Was he U.S. agent in the comics and then
U.S. agent comics? He might be the Patriot. I don't remember what name he chose.
Yeah, Redheaded Ed. You might be right. I think we would have to Google.
We'd have to do some research.
We could ask
8 minutes before the show.
We could ask Perplexity.
Wasn't the Patriot the red, white, and blue Iron Man? I thought that was who the Patriot was, but
I thought that was Rhodey.
Well, do we trust Redheaded Ed or Philip Burnett on who it is?
I don't know. I feel like we.
I think he's U.S. agent. But
all right, but Darren, what do you think? I am dreading this the way I dread going on a diet.
All right, I'll tell you what I think. It looks like this is a cast of characters that they're all C-level characters, if that, and maybe a B with Bucky Barnes, but I'm seeing like the Suicide Squad, and I don't really like the Suicide Squad, and I'm still annoyed at how they messed up Taskmaster. They didn't really do a great job with Ghost either. And the one on the left, I think that's Echo from Daredevil.
No, that's the Julia Louis-Dreyfus character, I think.
No, that looks like Ma Ning Wen. I forgot her name, but
is that Echo? I don't know if that's Echo.
I actually think that's how it's pronounced.
I forgot her name, but yeah, it looks like is this not a movie, right? Is this a TV show or a movie?
This is a movie, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like it would be a TV show, and I'm not that thrilled about it. I hope they fix Taskmaster, but and I hope it's funny because I love David Harbour. But other than that,
all right. So if that's Taskmaster, that's Ghost on the second to the left.
Yeah,
right from Ant-Man.
But then again, is that's supposed to be Echo on the far left?
I mean, I know that Julia Louis-Dreyfus, whatever her character was in the Captain America series, is going to be like the leader of this group. So that might be her. It could be Echo.
No, that's not. I don't know if you need glasses or you're not wearing them, but that's like an Asian looking character.
I do need glasses.
So
Mike needs glasses.
All
right.
Or if you're working on a little screen, I don't know either. But yeah, I'm
doing both.
You know what the other problem is that I'm a former Marvel editor, and I couldn't tell you the names of all these freaking characters. And you think the audience is going to know who they all are?
That's true.
This is what Burnett. I'm with Burnett. This is the stuff that Disney Plus shows are made of. Just not feeling like, oh, I got to watch this. It's like it's. And what frustrates me is that it seems like there are so many other things they could have done that this comes out and I'm like, I'm mad that they're putting this before they're putting something else out. You know, Deadpool and Wolverine seem like the perfect merging of characters. We'll get to that in a second. But like,
did you guys see that?
Right? Like why do this? I'm frustrated by that.
I have a roll call if you want it.
You have a roll call?
Yeah, for the characters.
Oh, you do. Hold on one second. Let's get through the comments. So Philip was right. U.S. agent. So Redheaded Ed must have gone to artificial intelligence to find out that information. And I think Florence Pugh is just waiting for Dune 3 to happen. Good luck, Florence. Could be a while. Those movies don't come out very frequently. But all right. So
we've got here. I'll give you the roll call. We got Bucky Barnes, obviously. We got Yelena Belova as Scarlet or Black Widow, Ghost, U.S. Agent, Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Valentina Allegra de Fontaine.
So you were right.
David Harbour, Red Guardian, Taskmaster, Sentry. I don't know who Sentry is. And Harrison Ford as Thunderbolt Ross will be in it.
Oh, he would make. Yes. I like him for Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah. So it doesn't look like Echo is going to be in this.
Sentry must be the villain because he's not grouped with the heroes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we shall see. Maybe it'll be like Guardians and, come out of nowhere and be great. Yep. So
that's true. See. That's true. We definitely underestimated Guardians.
Yep.
But, I mean, hold on.
Red Hulk. I am looking forward to Red Hulk as well.
All right. I didn't have a graphic pulled up, so I'm just going to go like this, and I'm going to present share screen.
Don't knock your sound out again.
No, I know. All right. So apparently this came out.
Yes.
This came out. So who wants to lead off with this? Because I did not see it, and we agreed to no spoilers. No spoilers, right, guys?
No spoilers.
All right, I'll be very careful. Mike, did you see it?
I did see it, yes. Twice.
Okay.
Are you kidding? Twice?
Yes.
Wow. You want to go first since you saw it twice?
Well, I mean, no spoilers. I will say it was so much fun. It was obviously just a complete Deadpool movie. It was, Deadpool being Deadpool. It was exactly what you'd expect. So yeah, that's all I'll say. I loved it. I thought it was great. I had a great time. The characters were awesome. The cameos were fantastic. All the good stuff. Yeah, I would recommend go and see it. No wonder it's like the #1 movie in the world right now.
Yeah, I could see why it made so much money for sure. It's fun. It's almost like watching a Ryan Reynolds HBO comedy special, though. For me, it was just joke after joke after joke, and there wasn't really much of a story. It was a lot of cameos. I mean, we were laughing the whole time, but I don't know. To me, it felt like I was watching a cartoon, like Roger Rabbit or something. It was just a lot of pointless humor that didn't really. I don't know. There should have been more of a story to it.
I will agree. There should have been more of a story. It was basically a nerd fest.
It achieved a lot. It as far as I think what they were looking to do in the Marvel universe. And I won't say any more than that because I don't want to spoil anything. But
I haven't seen it, yeah.
But I think it achieved what it was. It's like an hour and a half of silliness, and then at the end they achieved like 2 or 3 things that they wanted to achieve, and then they got out. So to me, it was like a long, funny cartoon. But I don't know. I just feel like it's the same kind of humor from the first two movies, and that it wasn't anything really new except the cameos were notched up for sure, and some twists that were fun that I didn't expect to see, so I did enjoy some of those. And even now, there's some things I read about. Oh, was that person, or was that this person? It's like, so you find out more about what you didn't even realize you were looking at when you were watching it. So,
Darren, it says
it's fun in that way.
You're not going to rewatch it. You'll wait till it comes on streaming or something.
Yeah, probably, because to me it was a lot of just a lot of pointless jokes. Like I said, like watching a cartoon. So that's my old man take, I guess.
No. I think it's a reasonable. I think it's a reasonable take, and let's face it. It seems like fan service.
Oh yeah, this was absolutely a fan service movie. Absolutely.
Right. Whereas, and that's where I say, like, that was fan service. Guardians was not. At least in the first one, they just made something that was with a great writer director that was able to pull together the movie well. Reasonable. That was very factual, wasn't she?
Yes, it was very reasonable.
Very reasonable. That's how Marianne's rates movies on a scale of reasonable to unreasonable. So, spoken like a true Gen Xer. All of us on this show are Gen X, I think, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we got to get some.
Maybe we need some. I don't mean to knock it as much as I did, but it's definitely a flawed movie.
Yes. Look, if you're going in it for some great story that you're going to come out of there going, wow, that really changed my view of the MCU and all that. No, going in, you have to know it's a Deadpool movie. It was a lot of fan service. It was just a big nerd fest, and all the cameos, just look forward to them and have a good time with it.
Hold on. Let me get the applause up. Hold on, Mike. Hold on. I put in a request.
I try to stay positive.
I put in this is the second time I put in a request to StreamYard to make that an easier button, because, right, Mike, when you're navigating and you're like, hold on, mouse, hold down. I'm like, just make it a button. Now I just want StreamYard not to kick me or the guests off the show. Now that's all I want. Just don't kick us off the show. So not Lawrence of Arabia.
It was not Lawrence of Arabia, but it was close.
Very close.
Very close.
All right, let's give that one. There you go. That's correct. All right, guys. So real quick, thanks for joining us, Darren, to talk about what's going on in the news. We need to just push the button. Okay, hold on.
You got to find it first.
I got to find the button. So, Darren, thanks for joining us on the show. People should check out Darren's YouTube channel. Since I crashed and restarted, I don't have it up. So just trust me that it's there. Look for it yourself. Be motivated. Darren has some good guests and is occasionally a nice guy, right? It looks like he froze. Did he freeze?
He's doing like Seth did last week when
he froze. And like, comment, and subscribe, guys. We do this show because we love you, and we look at that. Look at that. What a good thing. And Mike, I've had a tough couple months. I'm glad that we're back on track. And did Darren come back?
Somebody popped off.
I think he popped off. Let's remove him. There he is. Okay. So, Mike, just on a personal note, it's been a tough couple months for me personally on a family level, and I'm back on track. I'm starting to write again, and I think people all need to do the same thing, which is to do the things. 2024 is the time to do the things. So, like Darren said, if you want to make it a comic book. Make a comic book or something, then make a comic book. If you want to break in, then break in. But you got to do the work. You got to do the things, right, Mike?
Got to do the things. 2024. It's almost over. Well, not almost, but
It's getting close.
It's close.
That's a very negative point of view, Mike.
Mike, it's almost over.
It's putting pressure on you so you get to work better.
Well done, Mike.
There's an old saying that before it's all said and done, more is said than done. And so you want to make sure that you're a doer and that you spend your time actually, like Buddy said, putting in the work. That's the secret to
Good.
Well said, Darren. Well said.
Thank you.
Well said. Keep that going.
Yeah, put it on the loop, bud. So it just keeps.
Well said, Darren. So good.
Oh, there it is.
All right, Darren. All right, guys. Have a good one. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. Bye-bye, everybody.
Take care.